A very good evening and welcome to news on Prime TV. I'm Chaturanga De Silva. Let's take a look at the headlines first. The President tells the UN chief that a special panel is uncalled for and unwarranted. Government refutes media reports that 15 army intelligence members are being quizzed on Lasantha's murder. 28 bank accounts of Dhanuna, Ashoka Tilakaratne and 2 accomplices are frozen. Over 500,000 tourists are expected this year. And on news overseas, the British Prime Minister's evidence to the war inquiry is challenged. Well, now for the news in detail, the local news first. President Rajapaksa has told UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon that the appointment of a special panel of experts to advise him on Sri Lanka is totally uncalled for and unwarranted. In a telephone conversation with the UN chief, the President was emphatic on this position. President Rajapaksa said it was both unprecedented and unwarranted, as no such action had been taken about other states with continuing armed conflicts on a large scale, involving major human catastrophes and causing the deaths of large numbers of civilians due to military action. The UN chief was told that Sri Lanka had concluded its armed conflict with the most ruthless terrorist outfit in the world and was in the process of working towards further strengthening of national reconciliation. The President also said that the implementation of such an intention would certainly be perceived as an interference with the current general election campaign, where the people of the North and the East, who were not free to participate in such polls earlier, were being given the opportunity to do so, respecting the highest standards of democracy. He recalled how interested forces attempted such interference, including by trying to draw in the UN and other bodies in the recently concluded presidential polls. The President informed the UN chief that he had already, as a further measure of reconciliation, appointed a special committee to study and report the lessons from the conflict situation that prevailed in some parts of Sri Lanka. The President also drew the attention of the UN Secretary General to the panel of eminent persons already working on human rights allegations. President Rajapaksa reiterated to the UN chief that any appointment of such a panel would compel Sri Lanka to take necessary and appropriate action. The President stressed that Sri Lanka looked forward to treatment as per the UN Charter that provides for equal treatment of all members. There is no truth in reports that 15 members of the Army Intelligence Unit were being quizzed with regard to the killing of Lasantha Wickrematunge. This was revealed at a news briefing held at the Media Centre for National Security.
I would like to inform the media about a leading paper today has reported saying that former intelligence chief of the army will be questioned by the police regarding Mr. Lasantha Wickrematunge's killing. This is totally a false information. There is no questioning from the former intelligence chief, nor the police is not making any efforts to question him regarding this. And I, on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, IGP, I totally deny this information, and I request the media to consult the MCNS or any spokesman or me regarding this information. If there is anything, please don't publish or broadcast without any authorization.
For the Lasantha Wickrematunge killing, the Criminal Investigation Department summoned 17 army personnel who are now in serving and questioned, record their statement, After that, released 11 of them. 6 of the army personnel still in the custody for further investigation. And this is an open inquiry. We reported all the facts to Mount Lavinia Magistrate Court. Last 4th of this March, we reported all the facts to Magistrate Court, and the next date will be on 18th of this month.
28 bank accounts of Sarath Fonseca's son-in-law Danuna Tilakaratne, his mother and 2 accomplices have been frozen. The CID intimated to courts that this was another measure adopted with regard to inquiries on Sarath Fonseca. Inquiries are already in progress with regard to the recovery of over 70 million rupees belonging to Fonseca from bank vaults of a private bank in Colombo. Giving more views in this respect, police media spokesman Prashant Jayakudi said that
money laundering case against Ashoka Tilakaratne and the Danuna Tilakaratne, the investigation conducted by Criminal Investigation Department, the progress is going on. All the facts have been reported to the courts, and they will be charged according to the law in future.
the summary of evidence against the retired army commander has been finalized. Addressing the media today, military spokesman Major General Prasad Samarasinghe said it would be handed over to the army commander next week.
Summary of evidence has been completed. 31 people have given evidence, including civilians, and technical evidence is also there. So next week the summary of evidence will be handed over to the commander of the army, and court martial will be appointed.
You're watching Prime News, and still on the local segment, the government is now geared to meet the transmission needs of equally the north as well as the south. The main focus, as soon as the Cookaville area was liberated from the terrorists, was drawn to the Cookaville transmission tower. The LTE terrorists fled, causing heavy damage to the tower when the soldiers neared the area. The government took immediate action to repair the tower as soon as the soldiers consolidated their power in the area. The Telecommunications Regulatory Commission fully contributed to the task via the Uttara Vasante Task Force on the advice of the President. The Media Ministry also extended support for the implementation of the project. The Sri Lanka Army is also making a vital contribution. The estimated cost of the three-stage project is 220 million rupees. A group of officials, including the Director General of the Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, Anusha Palpita, recently undertook a visit to monitor progress of the work. The shortcomings experienced by the civilians of the north with regard to communications will be completely eliminated with the completion of the reconstruction of the transmission tower. Arrangements are in place for the establishment of the judicial network in the north after 3 decades. Accordingly, a review is being undertaken on how the northern judicial network is operative in the north at present. More attention is being averted on the judicial network management. Minister Melinda Murugada presided a special discussion in this respect recently. It was attended by a group of legal luminaries, including President's Counsel Shanta Abhimanasingham. More attention was focused on the upliftment of infrastructure, major shortcomings of the judicial network and the dearth of staff. Minister Murugada clarified to the representatives the challenges confronted in the hearing of cases. Sri Lankan shares gained 0.5% yesterday, led by hotel shares, with local investors dominating the buying. The all-share price index of the Colombo Stock Exchange closed up 0.48% or 18.32 points at 3,824.17. It hit a record high of 3,804.